Good morning, PLS Live. My name is Keith Carberry. We are live, local, international, and loud. Want to make sure you guys can hear me okay? Give me a big yes, we hear you, Keith. Because if you don't, I need to know that. Well, welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Obviously, this is the time of season where we do a lot of reflection and we look at what we've done in 2013 and what we really want to do in 2000. Talk about our plans and our interaction and where we're going to be. And it's also a season for gifting. And a lot of times people are looking, okay, what can we gift to our children or a family member? And one thing that I just gifted to our pet snake is some fish. And while the show just started, my I should say my wife's pet snake just devoured a nice size fish. It was about that big. There's something going on in the corner. But what type of a gift do people want to give to their family members is something that you really need to think about during this time of the season. Because there's something that you can give that you haven't before. And that might be, I'll give you a hint of some things that I've given away in my past to my family members. And I think with one brother it took. I'm one of 5 children in the family, so obviously I gave them about 5 years ago their own name. I bought domain names of their names. So, for instance, I've always had, for many years, I've had the name keithcarberry.com because that's my name. And don't wear it out. And consider giving, because that's a gift that if you're able to, if that domain name for your sibling or your child is available still, you really need to grab it. Excuse me, I get a little hoarse in my throat. And that's consider giving because now if somebody types in keithcarberry.com, they're going to get to my website. Now, it just so happens that I've been so busy doing other things, I don't promote that particular domain name, but I have it, and I have the right and the ability to time. So my email address is keith@keithcarberry.com. So that's a type of gift that you might want to consider giving if it's something that you can give. If your name is John Smith, then or if your child's name is John Smith, during this gifting time of season, that's not going to work for you because johnsmith.com is already taken. But it's just an idea. If you haven't done it yet, and if you have a domain name in your name, that's great. So if Matthew Foreign has matthewforeign.com, that name, you better go grab it. Same thing with Rui and Potato and everything. If you don't have a domain name that is your name or something very similar, maybe it's like Mike A might be Mike-A. Really need to have that because it allows you to brand yourself. And if you don't use it right away, there's no problem with that, but at least you'll have it. Because they're going away. These domain names are going away very quickly, and it's something that you should have. Of course, I'm going a little off topic on. Just wanted to point that out. Another type of gift that you might want to consider giving. What is another type of gift that you might want to consider giving? Well, that is the gift of maybe a business. During this economic times, these harder economic times, for a couple extra dollars. And if you were to give your child or a spouse or a friend, and you knew you were going to give them a gift, and you usually spend somewhere between $50 and $100, wouldn't it be really cool to give them maybe yourself up there? You're going to pay in advance 3 months of PLS, and maybe just as a service. And you show them that, listen, I've got this service for you. I'm getting it for you for 3 months, and if you like it, you're going to need to keep on paying for it. And no worries. At least you had an opportunity to try to make money using a service like the Power Lead system. These are the type of things that you might want to, again, consider giving if you haven't started giving yet at all, or gotten a gift yet. One of the things that I mentioned on in Facebook, promote today on Facebook, is technology versus instinct. And I got this message, this idea yesterday while I was shoveling, and my lazy and her lazy boyfriend watched me shovel for about 3.5 hours. Never offered to take the shovel away from me. Never asked if there was another shovel. They just kind of like looked out the window, watched me. For my daughter to move the car so I could shovel around the area from snow shoveling. And of course, as a typical 17-year-old daughter would do, she kind of like shuffled like, I have to move my car, right? So, typical 17-year-old. And I am absolutely shocked that they never asked to help out. Just never even, it was, and I'm not going to go, I'm not the type of person that will say, go get a shovel. I'm not that type of person. I don't want to deal with that. I'd like them to finally figure out themselves that they should be helped. In any case, this type of a storm that we encountered yesterday, if you're just joining us, by the way, welcome. We appreciate you coming in. We're talking right now about technology versus instinct a little bit. And so here I am outside, and that we had turned to rain, and then it started freezing up again. So it was kind of like slushy at the top, and at the bottom was a sheet of ice. Now, my driveway is a little hilly, and in one section of the area where it's very hilly, my daughter, when I asked her to move the car, I said, listen, if you drive, you're going to probably slip and skid, and you don't want to do that. So kind of back up and do this. And her boyfriend, who's all of 18 years old, chimed in and said, she's got ABS brakes. It's nothing to worry about. So, of course, I could not let that go. So, listen, Frankie, you might know he does mechanical work, actually, for cars. Like, you might know a little bit about the inside of a car, but somebody who's been driving for over 30 years in snow and on this driveway here for the last 12 years, I think I know a little bit more than you. Brakes, XYZ brakes, or ABC brakes. She's going to slip. So that gave me thought about technology versus instinct. And although technology is a beautiful tool, and we're using technology here, I'm recording this show, and you'll be able to watch this again later if you wanted to. And the crazy technology with the mobile industry taking over websites, with the knowledge that 30% of all sales transactions are occurring over a cell phone rather than a desktop, which wouldn't even be close to being the situation 2 years ago. It was more like 100% of the transactions were on a desktop if you were to make a purchase on Amazon during this holiday season. So technology versus instinct. Yes, ABS brakes, that's the car's brake technology, great technology. But if you don't have instinct on how to use it and when to use that technology, you're setting yourself up for what? Insert the word failure. And up for if you don't have the instinct and the knowledge of how to use what you need to use and when to use it and how it really does work. Because if you're on a hill at a 30-degree angle and it's a sheet of ice, there's no brakes in this world that have the problem of the skidding going down like this into, in this case, it would have been the garage. So technology versus instinct. Have some instinct of how you're using your technology and why you're using your technology to advance yourself. Okay? And I actually, later on in the afternoon or the evening, I bought subs for dinner for my daughter and her boyfriend and the rest of the family. And I actually brought that up to them. I'm like, there's something to be said about technology. And of course, you know what happens with an 18-year-old and a 17-year-old. in here and right out this way, right? I felt like going, but I still try. We still try to to talk to these kids, right? So one of the things that I also wanted to share with you today was what's going on with PLS. Let's see, potato. I recall once in Michigan, freezing rain, and the cars actually slide sideways off the side of the road, and that's exactly what have happened here with my daughter had she gone to this certain area, whether she had ABS brakes or not. So that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you need to have that experience and instinct to know better, potato, right? Now, of course, they didn't take my advice. I mean, well, I will say this: my daughter took my advice, but sided with her boyfriend that they wouldn't have slid had they gone to that. They ate the subs, though. Yes, absolutely, right? They totally ate the subs. Good point. But well, when they had their mouth full, that's when I started talking. Though, as soon as I saw them both take a bite of their I get something to talk to you guys about. So they couldn't talk back during that period of time, right? Uh, Kids are funny, yeah, funny, stupid. And of course, my 9-year-old boy is far more advanced than these two guys. These two will be, and the sad thing I know is that my 9-year-old boy will just be as uh, non-listening 8 years from now. Yes, yeah, you get a captive audience when you. But I digress. The Power Lead system is another gift that you can give away during this holiday season, and you might really want to consider doing that. It's something that is very powerful. This time of the season is a time of giving and reflection. Give, and at the same time reflect on what you've done so far with the Power Lead system, and keep on forging forward. This is the time to really forge forward. And we know that it's going to be very difficult if people were to purchase the product right now. It's not the time when a lot of purchases happen. It just happens the case. It's like that every year. There's always it works funny. It's a little quirky during this time of the year. But it is a perfect time to give somebody this. So again, if you're going to be spending $60 to $100 on somebody that is close to you and in the family, you know what? Instead of you getting a sweater this year and some socks and an Xbox game, I've decided to do something different. I'm going to give you 3 months worth of a potential business opportunity, and that's something to give them something like that. Keith, do all iPhones have the app to read a QR code off a postcard? The answer is absolutely yes and no. iPhones do not come with the download, but most people download the free app of the. It is a free app that all iPhones usually, the people who have the iPhones will grab. So hopefully that answers your question. Maybe yes, maybe no. So again, that's something that I would recommend that you guys consider. Opportunity to use PLS. PLS has got some is a great company, and it's a great service. It's a great product. One of the things that I've swore to myself that I would not do is get involved in a company product. And we all know that there's companies out there like that that their product does not match the opportunity. And so often we find that the word opportunity, here's an opportunity if you want to invest in a business. If you invest $10, you're going to get $10 back after you invite 2 people into the business, and it goes over and on, and you never really find out what the product is. And they're always talking about the opportunity. Well, with the case of the Power Lead system, it's, in my opinion, that it is about the opportunity. And I really like that because there's really, if you take away the opportunity of the power lead system, you still have a product. And all too in the past, and I know that there are people in this room that probably have done the same thing, we tend to invest in the opportunity because it's so exciting. And the opportunity for the power lead system is extremely exciting. 100% commissions. It's real exciting. And oh, by the way, if you've not looked at the product that the power lead system has to offer, we've got two links up here that are very important. And I'm going to ask that you click on one of the links. One is a banner, and one is see how it works text message. You may need to use your scroll bar depending on the size of your monitor. And if you need to use your scroll bar, just scroll all the way up, and you'll see them. If a video tends to start, pause the video and come right back here. And then after the show, I would highly recommend that you go back to that link and learn more about the Power Lead system. And this show is, by the way, sponsored by the Power Lead system. And I'm doing this. I'm doing 100% free, and we're going to be 99.999% edutainment, meaning that we're going to provide some education and entertainment over the years to come. And we've only been doing this, maybe a month now? And hopefully we'll be doing this for the next 10 years. We'll have this show, and it'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And so I want to thank you guys for coming, and hopefully you'll be coming more and more often, and you'll be promoting this room. One of the things that you'll learn once you become a member, you have the ability to promote this room and earn while you learn. Again, earn while you learn. Well, how's that? Well, once you become a member of the Power Lead system and you promote this room on Facebook or on Twitter or any other social site or through email, you're given a special room. And every time you promote this room and somebody new comes into this room and they decide that the Power Lead system is right up their alley and it seems to be offering everything that they want, and they make that purchase within the next couple days, well, that purchase is going to be tied to your affiliate link. And tied to your affiliate link, you're going to make a sale. So that's what we mean by you can actually learn and earn at the same time. Learn in this room and earn by promoting this room. Right now, we do have a button that's not working right now because there are some major changes that we're doing in webinar room. So you need to go to Facebook if you wanted to promote on Facebook or on Twitter. You need to go to those pages to actually promote. And I actually did that today, and I can see that there are a couple of people that have come in here because of my promotion. So thanks for joining us. If you don't know me, my name is Keith Carberry. And you should be able to see my name right there. It's kind of in funny lights because I'm having a problem with my being here with my window right behind me. I'm going to be making some changes to that coming soon too, so you can see my video a little bit better. Questions, by the way, about Power Lead system that I might be able to answer, and if I can, that's great. If I can't, I will find the answer for you and get back to you on the next show. Speaking of show, there's also another show today with regard to Facebook, and if Luann, or if somebody is aware of it, if they could provide the link, there's another show today. I can't remember exactly what time it is. Great, Luann will do that. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's a special free webinar exclusively for Power Lead System subscribers, which if you're not a PLS member yet, then hopefully you'll be able to become one and join us. And it's about how to tap into the pool of the 2 billion free prospects and make sales every day. And that link is right there. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So either copy that or click the link now, and then make sure you have that open and you start to go there. I would highly recommend you go there. Again, it's about tapping into the 2 billion free prospects. Now, I don't know about you, but I think 2 billion. And if you agree with me that 2 billion is a pretty big number, this is a perfect place to go to. Again, that's 9 p.m. Eastern Time or 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Or should I say specific time? I always say that, by the way. If I do say that by accident, I know the difference between Pacific and specific. One starts with the letter P and the other one starts with the letter S, right? Any other differences are incidental, specifically speaking. And I want to be, see, I mess up every time. Hello, Rex. Thanks for joining us. So what I want to talk about for a second here, before I go, I'm going to try to get into desktop sharing, but I've had some problems recently with it, so I may not get there. This is a perfect time to get out your yellow legal pad of paper and sit in a quiet space and reflect about what you've done in 2013 and how you fox instead of a hedgehog. And if you're just joining us for the first time, we've been talking about this a few times about the fox versus the hedgehog. The fox is initially you think that it's a great thing to be considered as a fox because a fox is clever and sly and moves on and is highly aware of things going on. Well, yeah, that's true, but the fox also is always running and looking for shiny objects. If they see a mouse over here, they might run after the mouse, and then at the corner of their eye, they might see another mouse and go after that, and by the time they see the other mouse, they've lost the opportunity to get the two mice. The hedgehog in the other side of things has one great technique, and it's a defense mechanism. And it curls up into a ball, and they're very difficult to attack. In fact, they very rarely attack any potential predator because of their great one-trick technique. They're a one-trick pony, but they know that trick so well that they're very, very successful, and they're more successful in a sense than the fox. So during this time of reflection, you might want to reflect, okay, at 26 business opportunities, I invested in 5 of them, and I'm working in 2 of them. Yeah, go down that list. See what you've done. See if you've acted as that fox, or have you on one business? Is that one business power lead system like we think it should be? If it's not, that's okay, because the power lead system is not just an opportunity, it's also a product. And if you've decided that you only want to use it as a product, that's fine. Use it at minimum as a product, because it is a great product. It has saved me a tremendous amount of time. Every day I'm using it as both the product and the opportunity. Every day I'm picking up new leads as the opportunity, and every day I'm using the product to promote. Let's see. Once you become a PLS, as Luann says here, once you become a PLS or FLSF member, you can also become a member of the Power Storm team. Absolutely. Ask to join our Skype room by contacting me on Skype at Plan4. The Power Storm team is one of the largest and best teams that is available for through the Power Lead system. So, you know, if I could try to find something. Let's say that this is the Power Lead system. Great product, and what's in it is great, but you just don't understand exactly how to use it to your maximum benefit. Well, because I'm a member of the Power Storm team, you have access to this room. Because if you're a member of the Power Storm team, you can ask anybody a question at any time, and somebody's going to have an answer for you. And if they don't, they're going to be able to get an answer for you real fast. I mean, real fast. So because one of the best things about the Power Storm team is our connection with the owners of the Power Lead system, and we have a direct connection. So, for instance, from my mouth to Luann's ears, and from Luann directly to the owners of the Power Lead system. So we have a very good direct connection and direct link in getting in touch with them. In fact, a few times myself. So, and I've got their direct cell phone number, and was given one instruction: Keith, do not call me early. That was the instruction I got. I live on the West Coast, so I guess I'd have to call it like midnight my time. to make sure that they're up and awake, because they get some fun hours that they mess around with. So again, the Power Lead system is a great product, and that's what it. So if I was to reflect today, I would say, okay, what did I do in 2013? I've created 3 businesses. I call it my three-legged stool. I've got 3 businesses that I've focused on that is my company. But I've also got the Power Lead system that I'm outside of my company because I have such a strong belief in it. I would not have invested in this had I not seen it firsthand, what it can do for me and what it can do for everybody that's in this room right now. Let's see. Time is no problem. Absolutely. Yeah, Neil. Yeah, Neil stays up till 3 a.m. his time or later, right? So as Neil goes to bed, I'm waking up because I'm on the East Coast and I'm getting up around 6:30. so that's the problem. I kind of lost my train of thought here, what I was talking about. But so if I was to reflect on my 2013, I would say that, like I said, I'm in 3 businesses. I'm in the Sparta business that I'm creating. I'm in the text message marketing business that I'm actively working. I'm in the webcasting business, this room here, that I'm working on all the time. So I'm really in 3 businesses, and that's the business model that I created at Teen. And the shiny object of where I became a fox is where I found the Power Lead system. Now, it's not like it wasn't like it was such a shiny object I had to grab it, is what happened. But I'm really still I've got my business up here, and I've got my 3 products in my business model, and I'm using the Power Lead system to promote my 3 products, right? And I'm like, by the way, I like it so much I have to share it with other people. I might as well earn money for sharing it. So that's where my business model is. And when I reflect on what I've done and where I'm going forward, I've got a couple things that I've already started to work on, and these are the things that we need to work on right now, guys, because it is now December 16th. So over the next 50 I would highly recommend that you do something like I'm doing with my yellow pad of paper, writing down where I've been and what I plan on doing. And that's basically goal setting, right? Oh, yes, and earn 100% commission on PLS. So that's basically goal setting. And about this before, and many people probably have. The most successful people in this world have goals. And the most successful people in this world that have goals down are even more successful. The 5%ers, the 5 most wealthiest people, the 5%, they have goals and they write them down and they revisit them. And you have to ask yourself, is that really difficult to do? And it really isn't. If you have a goal in mind for 2014, write it down on a piece of paper. It doesn't take that much time. Writing it down and reviewing it a couple times a year, you're going to be more successful than you've ever been. So again, if you don't write your goals down, you're going to be maybe a little bit like the rest of us, right? Or like the average, not the rest of us, like the average producer. But if you write it down and you revisit it, statistics show that you're going to be far more successful than anybody else. So let's see, 5 fresh goals each AM. Refresh. I'm missing that one. When I first got on, I think I mentioned this to you guys, that we have a snake, and the snake loves fish. And I can hear it. There were 2 fish in the tank in this little bowl, and I can hear that fish number 2 is now. When we first got on, I saw the fish number 1 being taken away, and I can now hear the rustling going on. The fish number 2 is taken away. So just share that. No, it's not a water. It's actually a garter snake that um, was called Jake. Jake the snake. And my wife found this snake. My wife is a nature lady at a well-established camp in this local area. And this camp actually charges $700 per child. Very expensive camp. And she's the nature lady, so she's into nature. So she captured this snake outside of our house, and this snake called Jake outside of he kept Jake and brought Jake to the nature camp, or brought Jake to the camp where she's the nature lady. And well, we soon found out that Jake was really not Jake. It was more like Janice, because all of a sudden last year, or more like this past year, but like whatever, 18 months ago, Jake started having babies. So this particular snake is one of the babies that was born from Jake, or now known as Janice. Kind of a fun snake. It's actually not a bad thing. It's actually a lot of fun watching. I know it sounds morbid, but it's actually kind of fun watching the way that they interact with their future food. I don't know if anybody else. It's definitely an interesting thing. So today, my recommendation today, one recommendation today, is to find that yellow pad of paper, your business paper. Get a pen and start writing, and draw a line right down the middle of that piece of paper. On the left-hand side, put 2013. On the right-hand side, put 2014. And ask yourself, what's important about success, at the very top? What's important about success to you? And when you ask that question, write down where you were, what you've done in 2013, and what you plan on doing in 2014. And set it up so that you know that you want to be able to reflect periodically, at least 2 or 3 times. You want to be able to revisit your list of what you plan on doing for 2014. I know that I have some big goals. I've had some really big goals with the Power Lead system. I truly believe in the product and in the structure of the commission structure of the product. It's a great product. It's a great tool. It's absolutely fantastic. And again, if you have not used the Power Lead system and you're new here today, just click on one of the links up there. There's a banner. Click on the banner, or it works on the top right-hand side. If you don't see that, you might need to use your scroll bar to scroll up to go see that. Once you click on that, you're going to learn more about the Power Lead system. And the more you learn about it, whoever invited you to this room, contact them, and they can certainly help you out more and more to learn more about the Power Lead system can help you be more successful. All right, guys, my name is Keith Carberry. It's 11:39. I'd like to try to keep it, see how it works. That's the one. Yep. Click on that link. I'm going to be back here tomorrow. We're definitely going to do desktop sharing, and we've got a lot of stuff to share about the time to really educate yourself about the Power Lead system and get to know it so you can talk about it with your eyes closed and promote it. Keith, how do you feed the snake fish? We get feeder fish from down the street, and it's $1.85 for a dozen fish, and we put those fish into one particular tank, and then every 2 or 3 days we put 2 or 3 fish into. So we get basically we have a fish tank where the snake lives, and inside the fish tank is a smaller bowl, and then that's 3 fish, and it goes in there and it grabs the snake, it grabs the fish, and then leaves the bowl. Hopefully that explains it. Maybe I'll take a picture of it and I'll show you guys. It's kind of a fun thing. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Kaboom, kabang, ka-ching. If you start working PLS system and the products that are inside PLS system and you work them together, the closer you work together with the PLS system, kaboom, kabang, ka-ching, and the ka-ching is the money that's going to go in your pocket each and every day that you start working the PLS system. So go check it out right now.